Well, good evening and welcome to camp. So a couple of weeks back, we were traveling through the mountains of Utah and we came across this huge herd of sheep just galloping along. It was hilarious. I love seeing them out there. But that did get me thinking, and I got hungry. So tonight, we're doing a rack of lamb in honor of those sheep. So I've got a rack of lamb out here. We've already parboiled some baby red potatoes. I'm gonna do those up with some garlic and rosemary, and we've got some Brussels sprouts to fry as well. Let's dig into here. Like I said, I already parboiled those potatoes. I also prepped a little Brussels sprouts here. Got those all quartered up and peeled down. So I'm gonna get everything done and then work on our protein. So I'm gonna chop up some garlic that I'm gonna use to fry those potatoes in a little bit. Give these a pretty rough chop with plenty of garlic. At least we'll both have garlic breath. All right. This is definitely my favorite way to get garlic for out here. This is already peeled garlic, so just all whole garlic cloves still, but already peeled, so you don't have to deal with sticky garlic peels and stuff flying all over the place. Not a fan of using the garlic tubes. They always have a bunch of additive ingredients in there that I don't want. It's never quite as fresh either. All right. Leaves us pretty good on our fresh ingredients. I'm gonna bust into this rack of lamb. We still got a little bit, it's already Frenched, but so the bones are cleaned up top here. We do have a couple things to clear up. Looks like I might have a little bit of silver skin here. Look at that. Man, that's pretty. Gorgeous rack of lamb there. And we're going to trim up a couple things on the bottom of here, dry it off. All right. Same trick as I've mentioned before, a Ziploc bag for the meat garbage and the stinky stuff. Plop that here. Suck all the air out of the bag, takes up no room, doesn't stink up the trash. Throw it right back in the fridge. All right, pat this down a little bit. Just a little bit I'm going to trim off of here. I'm undecided at the moment if I want to deal with that silver skin, if I want to leave it on there to hold it as one and then just eat around it on the other side. There's a little bit of fat in there. Let's see. Yeah. I'll leave it on there to hold together. I'll eat around it later. Stand on the other side to block the wind. I'm losing all my pepper. But season this up, a little bit of salt and pepper. Get a pan going. Hi, Blue. Come over to the tin bin kitchen here and light up our Coleman stove. Our cast iron pan going. Crank that up. Let that get pretty smoking hot. Now for the heat judgment, for me, it's 4 to 5 seconds holding my hand over about half an inch above the bottom of the pan, and that's when I have to pull it away. So about 5 seconds, and that's too hot for me to handle. That's perfect temperature for the meat to go in. So we'll get a good sear going on that fat, sear up the sides, and then let it roll until we get to a nice medium rare on the lamb. Give that a minute to heat up.
Name that dance.
You smell the lamb? What do you think, Chuck? Oh, you guys are dusty. It's a dusty, ripping trail today. You can cook it pretty good along some of these roads out here. And I just had a dust cloud behind us. Ooh. Well, we're getting there. Yep. Get just a little bit of fat in the pan. Start the situation. There's a nice fat cap on that rack of lamb. So that'll melt down and give us some fat to cook the rest of it in. Just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. In we go. Nice. Grab our tongs here. We'll give that a minute to really sear and get that fat starting to juice up on the backside. But we've been using a kitchen bag like this for, well, a long time, ever since we've had the fridge. It's from Blue Ridge Overland gear. I actually had one of them for the majority of the time. This one's brand new. And the zipper started to go. This thing lives a terrible, horrible life back here. It's covered in dust and dog hair and all kinds of junk. And we're in it all the time, unzipping it and whatnot. So I emailed the company, emailed Blue Ridge, and they were absolutely stood behind their warranty and sent us out the brand new model. That was awesome. Great American-made quality. It's got pouches on the inside. Not sponsored by them or affiliated. They're just a great company to work with. It's got 2 of these. There's another one just down here. Several pouches for all the tools and accoutrements. But it just works really great. And it's got little straps on it so you can hook it onto the front of the ARB fridge right on the pull handle there. And really stand behind their gear. So cheers. All right, let's stand this up. Oh, yeah. Look at that. All right. Get this up, sear these ends. And when I sear proteins, you're locking in all that juice, getting a crust on the outside, sealing it up. Woo! I am burning my hands.
Oh, it's giving you hot.
Flamage out of the side here. Get a little bit of wind today. Today is the calmest it's been in like a week. Been a lot of sandwiches and just hanging out in the tent. It's a 40-mile-an-hour wind, so I'll take the 8-mile-an-hour it is right now. All right. Got that balanced a little bit. Onto the side dishes. Lop off a bit of butter into a nonstick pan. Butter. Tickle of olive oil. I got some foamy butter. And with some, and these were already boiled, so these are already tender down to the inside. Whew. I particularly don't like chunks of rosemary get stuck in your teeth and stuff like that, but using a whole sprig, I can impart the flavor in there through the fat. So I'm just gonna toss the potatoes with that sprig of rosemary, and we're about to do the same thing on here on the lamb. Looking fantastic. Let's see here. Lay you down again for a minute. Yeah, I can already smell that. It's another time for smell-o-vision. It's a very effervescent essence.
Man, that's crazy.
Smell that rosemary coming out, brightening it up. And hit those with a little salt. A little fresh cracked pepper. See how we're doing here. And still very blue there in the middle. Looking for about 135. So, get on with another chunk of butter into here. A couple sticks of rosemary right in there. Got all that fat from a little bit of butter. And fat from the lamb that's rendered down. And base that rosemary fat right over everything. Look at that. Yeah, those potatoes look pretty good. Kick those. Put a lid on those, save some heat. Coming right up there. Almost 130. It's pretty rare right in the middle. So close though. All right, that came right up to 135. Just under. It's going to carry over a little bit sitting here. Oh, that's beautiful. That's gorgeous. That is going to be delicious. But right into that same cast pan, gonna toss in our Brussels. We've got all these lovely bits of flavor and that butter on the bottom. And crank that up. Brown up our Brussels a little bit. We'll be ready to eat. Got our potatoes going, so I'm kicking those back up again. Get all our timing right so we can have a hot meal out here. Then that garlic that I chopped earlier. Add that pretty late, because I don't want it to burn while I was frying up the potatoes. Just gonna give that a little time to saute, partake some flavor. Yeah. Man, I wish y'all could smell this. Look at that. Just clearing off a few rosemary sprigs. Cut these into some 2-bone sections. That is still pretty rare. Can't win them all. I think what we're going to do is chop these into some 2-bones, drop these back in the pan. Well, we didn't execute that one quite perfectly. It's definitely edible. It's a little more rare than I'd like though. So the correct procedure, what I should have done is pulled that out of the fridge probably about a half an hour before I was ready to cook it, and let that come up to at least ambient temperature here, which is probably 65 maybe right now. That would have helped out a lot in cooking that thoroughly quicker. But it's all right, I just cut them up into a few bones, throw them back in the pan, and they'll be up to munching temp in no time. Minus the fly. We dunked the lamb for its second time around. It's looking lovely. We get our spuds plated up. Brussels sprouts and garlic potatoes. Delish. Just tickle a parm over these Brussels. A little quick shave over the spuds. Nice. Well, there you have it. Our baby red potatoes, charred Brussels, and lamb. A beautiful rack of lamb we cut down into medallions, seared it up with fresh rosemary and butter. This will be absolutely delicious. Well, it's time to dig in. Bon appetit. Mmm. So good.
Oh, piece does look good.
How is it? Is it bad?
It's delicious.
Well, as you can see, the sun's getting low, and we are hungry.
Cheers.
Well, thanks for hanging out for dinner tonight.